Yo, everyone, and welcome back to another episode here. And happy Friday for everyone watching this video today. And I'm super excited again for tonight's episode. So, I also want to again lift it up. Thank you for everyone taking your time watching this video, and also give yourself a pat on the shoulder for always showing up for your own success, always developing your skills, and always aiming to improve and become a better version of yourself. So, let's get right into this training. And today we will talk about developing leaders within your team, how to identify, mentor, and create independent leaders. I think that's something we all want to have in our organization, in our business. So let's get right into the purpose of today's training is to clearly teach you exactly how to identify and develop strong independent leaders. When you develop leaders, your team grows sustainably, even without your constant involvement. So that's a goal for today's training. So leadership is something I am so excited to talk about. Developing leadership is even more exciting because I know the change it can do in your business when you really learn this skill set, and when you know that you can work with almost anyone that have these potentials and you can bring them to a side income, to a side hustle, or even a full-time income with just the right time and the right focus and work put into them. So, what type of mindset should you have, or why developing leaders matters? So, leaders multiply your impact and your income. Independent leaders allow your business to scale rapidly. So, example, teams with strong leadership achieve faster duplication, stability, and sustainable growth. And I think those are the topics that all of us ever wanted in our business. We want duplication, even faster duplication. We want stability, and we want sustainable growth. We want our organization to not be dependent on us. We want, let's say you get sick for 1 or 2 weeks, we want the organization to still have the leadership, still have the skill set to be able to thrive and grow with or without you there. This doesn't mean that you should now just duplicate leader to just relax and chill for the rest of your life, because remember, they will always watch your feet, but they will always have your back if something like that happen, if you get sick or something. And of course, in the end, is always the goal to build a passive business, and that's what the power of net marketing can do for you. So the goal is, of course, to be able to create as big organization as possible and find the right people to work with. So the mindset you should have: true success is measured by how many successful leaders you create. Your goal clearly help people independent, not dependent on you. That's the goal, how and what they should become: independent, as we were talking about, and leaders who empower their teams create lasting and self-sustaining growth. Um, so there's 4 steps in developing leaders. So first, identify potential leaders clearly, mentor and coach consistently, empower them through delegation, help them duplicate leadership. So, and I would say just an extra point here. So it's 3 skills that you should really look for and developing and working with. It's people that show the plan, run event, and develop leaders. If they can do these things, combined with the other topics I will talk about, they will for sure be able to build a lasting huge organization. Showing the plan, something we need to do in this business. The most important thing to get paid, we need to show what we do. The more people will show, the more people will start up, and the more people will you be able to lead. And then run events. One of the most important way also to grow your organization. Go out there and do a home event. Go do a coffee shop event. Do things like that. I know it can be uncomfortable, but it will be important in your growth as an entrepreneur, especially in the network marketing space. And then, of course, also developing leaders. So now, how do you develop leaders? So step number 1 is how to identify potential leaders. So you should look for people who clearly demonstrate initiative and hunger for success, positive attitude and consistent actions, desire to learn and grow personally. So they should have a willingness to learn, they should be coachable, and ability to take constructive feedback. So this is the key things to really look for in your organization when you looking for who should I put most working, who should I put 80% of my time in. I know we talked about the 80-20% rule, and 80% of the work will go to 20% of the people that will build your entire organization, and then yes, 20% of the work should go to the rest 80%. So this 80% of your time should go to the 20% of the leadership. And I would say it doesn't matter how big your organization will, it will almost always be managed by between 10 to 20 people. That will be the people that will be the core in your entire organization. Doesn't matter if you have an organization of 100 people or 5,000 people or even 10,000 people. Like those 10,000 people, everything will start with that core leadership of 10 driven, hungry leaders that then also duplicate other leaders. So, step number 2 is to mentor and coach consistently. So now when you identified which people you should work with extra, you should have regular one-on-one calls. FaceTime, I would say, is your best friend when you are building leaders. You should call and talk to your leaders daily. You should get to know them deeply. You should know their why. You should know their goals. You should know all the reasons why they do this, all the reasons why they want to succeed with this. And you should be there guiding them in the direction and pushing them constantly outside their comfort zone and help them grow. And yeah, becoming that dream version and dream leader of themselves. You should provide clear guidance and honest feedback. That's something that you also should work on. So always guiding them in the right direction, guiding them what the next step is. And then you should also teach mindset, skills, and leadership principle clearly. That's something you always should focus on to help them improve. Weekly mentorship calls where you set goals, review progress, and coach on skills like inviting and presenting. So you should always help and be there, guiding them in the right direction so they can improve on skills, for example, like inviting. So every single week, maybe the first time they do it, they are on a scale of 1 to 10, they're just on a 1. But then the next week they improve to a 3, then to a 5, then to a 6, then to a 7, then to an 8, then to a 9. So you're helping them improve and become better and better and better every single day. Step number 3, empower leaders through delegation. So it's not like you should be a boss and tell people, yeah, you should do this and this and this and this, but you should delegate tasks clearly to build their confidence. So it can be that maybe they should start to promote and call. They should maybe open and edify you in a presentation. Or it can be all these small things where you're just lifting them up and putting them in a situation where they can grow. Or it can be that they hosting a longer part on a home event, or they opening the home event, or all these different things can be tasks that you can delegate. Or they can host a late night grind, or they can open a Zoom call. All these small things that they can do to feel like, wow, Emil really trusts me, or whoever, so that this is important things. And then allow them to host presentations, onboarding calls, or team trainings, all these different things. So you dare to let someone not as good as you do these things, because I know some leaders are super scared to let other people take space, to let other people do things that they maybe know they are better on, which makes sense. Like, of course, I could do 99% of the things in my organization because I know I've done it longer, so it makes sense that I put in more time and energy to do it. But I know that's also not beneficial for my growth. And I know if it wasn't for my leaders, my mentors back in the days, letting me go outside my comfort zone, do something I were way worse on than they were, I wouldn't be where I am today. So I need to let other people fail. I need to let other people do these uncomfortable things, do things maybe not as good as you, but if they can't do it, if they can't practice over and over and over again, how would they then improve? So that's what leadership is. To dare to trust the process. And like I usually take the example, leaders is like babies, like new business partners and leaders, they are like babies. In the beginning, when they are newly born, they need 24/7 watch out. You need to help them with everything. You need to feed them. You need to, help them with every single thing. But after a while, they will maybe be able to sit alone, but you will still need to be there to supervise them. And then after a while they will be able to crawl, but you can never leave them fully alone. After a while they will start to walk, but you need to hold their hands and guide them through that. And after a while they will start to take some few steps without you and then falling back, and you're helping them up. So now you're letting them fail alone and you're just lifting them up and supporting them. And after a while they will be full grown man, and they will be able to run away without you and no need to worry, because they are having the right skills, they having the right tools, they have everything they need to be fully independent, so they can go out there, they can show the plan, they can run the event, they can develop leaders without you. That's what you should do. Support clearly without micromanaging is also something you should do. So as I said, you should really dare to let them do these things, because what will happen after this process is done, you know that they have the skill set they need to be independent. That's what you want to create. You want to create independent leaders, people that can go out there, take responsibility with or without you. You know their organization will grow even if you're there or not. That's the goal of developing leaders. That's the power of having leaders in your organization, because now you can have other countries working while you're sleeping, working in other time zones. You can be doing event here, but you have 3 other leaders that are doing event here and here and here at the same time. That's what we want to come up to. That's the goal. Step number 4, duplicate leadership clearly. So teach your new leaders exactly how to identify and mentor others. So now we're back to step number 1 again, but you do this together with your leaders. Again, back to the duplication training. You show them that you do it. You already did it with them. You show them how to do it. You do it together with them. They do it. You give feedback. And the advanced step was that they record themselves, maybe not on this specific topic because it's hard to record themselves developing leaders, but you understand what I mean. So the duplication step is always the same. That's why repetition is so important when you study this type of videos I record for you, because it will help you understand when all of this is just imprinted in you, you will have the skill set to pick up anyone from the street, build them up as a leader, and you will have maybe 10, 15, 20, 100, 200 extra people in your organization by just working and improving the leadership in a specific person. That's a power, that's a skill that you will be able to have. I don't say it will take you 1 week, 2 weeks, 4 weeks. It will take time. But if you work enough with a person, you can bring them to become an independent leader if they have the willingness to become that. That's what you should know. So clearly document your leadership developing system for the application, and that's what I'm currently creating. That's why I'm creating this playlist, to help you guys have everything documented, have all the skills needed to become a strong independent leader. So encourage new leaders to begin developing their own leaders immediately. So directly when they start to build their business and they maybe hit the 1K, the 5K, the 10K rank, they should directly work on improving and building leaders there, where you help them, you support them, you lift them up, you give them feedback, you help them improve their skills all the time. So what's the common mistakes in leadership developing? It's doing everything yourself and never delegating. Again, you will get stuck with being like the entire organization is dependent on you. If something happened to you, you will not make any more money. If you're sick for a week, 2 weeks, maybe have an operation, maybe whatever, nothing will happen. Your growth will go down. And I don't think you want to go on your honeymoon in the future when you work so hard and then the business has crashed because you can't even be away for a week. You want to build up something that will last with or without you. And also, another mistake is trying to control instead of empowering. Stop controlling, let them go out there, let them grow, let them do these hard things. But first, yes, an extra point that I was thinking about now is that you should check that you have already achieved these things. So before you started like developing other leaders, you should make sure that you develop yourself. Because it's impossible to develop leadership if you haven't worked on your own leadership. So work on within, work on yourself, and then you can teach the same things to others. So make sure you're just not out there trying to duplicate something you haven't even done yourself. Because always the most important step is monkey see, monkey do. So they will watch your feet and not your mouth. So make sure you have done these things yourself. Otherwise, you will see that nothing works just because you're trying to get other people to do the work for you. You need to put in the work yourself first, and then other people will start to do it. So now you need to create a leadership culture. So publicly recognize leadership growth within your team. Lift up the small things, lift up the details, and really celebrate their wins of growth. And that will create a culture of other people like, oh, I also want to be like Adrian. I also want to be like Jonas. I also want to be like this guy that Emil was recognizing, or whoever, you know. Consistently talk about leadership as a core value of your team. Again, where focus goes, energy flows. So you can choose where your focus in your organization should go. The more you talk about leadership, the more focus will go into leadership. The more people want to become leaders. The more you talk about trading, the more trading will go in there. So it depends on what state your organization is in right now. Maybe you're in a state where you need to dare to talk more about leadership, where you need to talk about the value of being a leader, where you need to duplicate these skills. And then signs someone is ready to lead. They are consistent, active, and results. So they have consistent activity and results. They take initiative without being asked. This is important. A lot of people are still in the state where they're waiting for the boss to tell them to do something. But that's not how leadership works. Leadership is someone that does something without being told to do. So for example, the three things that we're talking about: show the plan, run events, develop leaders. So now, without me calling you up and going out there and do an event, call me up and like, yo, Emil, I just booked my presentation, or I'm gonna do now an home event. I invited 5 friends. Can you jump on a Zoom and close them? Or if you have a leader close to you, invite them to your home and they can close the prospects for you. Now take initiative. Do these things without being told to do. And that will really show your leaders that you're ready to bring this to the next level. And also that they start mentoring others naturally. So we have some people, you know, the coaches of the football team, or the captains of the team, or you know, in school and different groups, it was always that type of leader that decided where to sit and how to sit, you know, like all these small things. It was not that they were telling other people, it was just that other people naturally listened to that person, and most people are just waiting for someone else to take the initiative. Have you seen that before? Let's say you're a group of 10 people, you're gonna go out and eat, but you haven't decided where to eat yet. And then one person say, okay, now we'll go and eat here. Boom, everyone follows. And before that, there could be 30 minutes, everyone is standing there and there, but no one took the initiative. So now take the initiative. Okay, let's go everyone, we go here, bam. That's what leaders do. And then that they actively contributes ideas and improvements. That's also what leaders do. You should not just wait for everyone else to do things for you. You should always contribute with ideas and improvements for everything. If you feel like something in this trainings could be better, if you feel something in our website could be better, whatever it is, if you feel we could host the calls in another way and you have ideas on how we can improve them, come back to us with that, and we will do everything we can to become better and better every single day. So, practical mentorship example, clearly structured mentorship calls weekly. So, you should discuss previous week's results clearly. How was the results? What things could change, for example? How many presentations did you do? How many signups? How many home events? All of these things. Set clear new action steps slash goals. Again, for the next week, month, 6 months, 12 months. Address skill set and mindset gaps clearly. So see, is it maybe inviting lacking or presenting acting? Or what skills do we need to fill up that are lacking, that we need to improve to become better and better to make sure that the skill set are fluent, and give actionable positive feedback, always important with lifting up the good things that a leader do to help them feel encouraged and happy that you see the hard work they put in. And yes, a small positive feedback can change someone's days and week, so that's also important. Leadership development example. So week one, you co-host a Zoom call with you. Week two, you host they host a short section together or independently. Number three, they run entire call with just you observing. And week four, the completely independent, confident leader. So that's just an example of how they can start small and improving and slowly stepping outside the comfort zone. Because sometimes I know some leaders trying to skip some steps, but it's just end up this person don't do anything. So that's super, super important to don't skip any steps, take it slowly, and just help them steps every step, in the stair. It's hard to take 10 steps at a time or in a ladder. You can't skip how many steps. You just need to take all the steps slow and steady, and then you will win the race. So, advanced leadership development tips. So, clearly encourage leaders to record their presentations and calls for feedback. Again, they should also, now, as I said, this is the advanced duplication tips that we were talking in the previous video. So, here's a way where you will realize what is the prospect feeling when I'm talking to them. So when you're watching yourself hosting a presentation, or when you're re-listening to your inviting, or all these different things, you will realize the small details that you want to improve, and then you can work on them, and then you can work on it together with your mentor. And use peer mentorship, leaders mentoring other, developing leaders within your team. So also important. And then some tools for leadership is accountability groups. So that's something that you can have on Telegram, WhatsApp, etc. As you know, we have our WhatsApp group right now as a leadership group, but you can also have a smaller accountability group with me, you, and maybe 2 or 3 of your leaders where we can hold each other accountable, or where you can show whatever it is, just to have a smaller communication group, and not to do like weekly team calls or anything like that, but just to have communication groups like that. Clear leadership, developing checklist. So for example, checklist of all the skill sets that you need to know and understand as a leader. And also Google Sheets to track leaders' progress and milestone clearly. Or if you do it on notes or whatever works the best for you, but do something to track and see their improvement, because whatever you track grows. So that's important. Now we're getting closer to the end here. And yes, some leadership developing books. The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, John C. Maxwell. Developing Leaders Around You, also John C. Maxwell. But here it's important, if you're going to read this book, I would say developing the leaders within you is more important than developing the leaders around you before. You need to do that in order, as we were talking on some slides ago. You need to work on yourself because you can work on before you can work on others. And then Multipliers by Liz Wiseman, empowering others clearly. Action steps and leadership challenge now. So go right directly to your organization and clearly identify 3 potential next leaders this week. Schedule your first mentorship call clearly within 72 hours. Delegate one clear leadership task to each potential leader, and track the process and share results with your exciting leaders. And now, yes, final inspirational message. Real leadership is measured by how many leaders you develop, not just by personal success. That's super, super important. Leadership is not about your own success, it's about how many other people you can help achieve the same thing. Clearly commit to mentoring others, creating independent leaders, and your business will become unstoppable 100%. And leadership duplication creates lasting freedom and massive impact. So I really hope you guys got a better understanding how leadership work, and that you can go out there and create independent leaders in your organization now. So thank you so much for watching. Leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'm just super excited to have you here. I would love to hear more feedback. I would love to see your um, feedback in the Telegram chats or our leadership chat when you're watching, what you learned, and just share that with others to inspire other people to go out and work on themselves. It doesn't just need to be my videos, but just overall to get other people to go out and develop their own skill set, develop themselves, and bring themselves to the next level. Because it's really, your success will never surpass your belief level and personal development. So if you don't bring this up, your success will never follow. So you need to bring up your personal development and your leadership skills, and then your organization, everything else will follow. So that's highly important. So thank you so much for watching. And as I usually say, see you at the top because the bottom is way too crowded. And I will say peace out, much love, and ciao, ciao.